Hello everybody and welcome back to the Black Reliquary. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. Okay, so in this episode I have a plan. And that plan is that I'm gonna cry because I can't get the sacred scroll for our freaking damaged Vestal. Alright. Now, I was told in the comments of the previous episode that even though it is kind of random what affiliation they can get, some characters cannot get certain affiliations. For example, you will never see a religious Hellion. You will also never see a pagan Vestal. So there are some things that just don't fly. But for the most part, it is relatively random, which is fine. If anything, it does make certain team comps work a little bit strangely with each other. Like, for example, a religious bounty hunter who works in a team with the flagellant who does not receive stress damage for stress healing a religious character. And then the Crusader, who sets up Bulwark of Faith, also stress heals the Bounty Hunter. So there's a little bit of strange interactions, but that's part of the fun. Learning all the new things. I don't know exactly how to say that, but, oh geez, our Shield Breaker would be really good against the Levantine Enchantress, but I think for this episode, as much as I would like to go for the Sacred Scroll, we literally can't unless we want to lose people, which so far, 0% death rate. I'm feeling pretty good about that. I was also told that the Tome of Cleansing is not the group heal. I was mistaken. I kept saying it was the group heal. But look, it says Divine Grace, not Divine Comfort. So, I was wrong. That's my bad. I call it optimistic. I really wanted it to be Divine Comfort. I really wanted that group, mass cleanse. But, unfortunately, that is not to be. Even still, Divine Grace, healing for 8 to 10 at level 1. Well, okay, it's going to be minus 20%, but, you know, just hear me out. Even with it healing minus 20%, it clears Horror, which we see fairly often. It clears a Blight and Bleed, which, 25%, not 20%. It cures Horror, Blight and Bleed, and because it's a friendly skill, it also cures a stun. So this Tome of Cleansing is actually insane. It might not seem like it at first. You see that minus 25% healing and you're like, oh god, this thing is awful. But trust you me, with how high those bleeds and blights get, being able to just and heal and cure a stun and a horror. Imagine if somebody has all 4 of those on. Bam. Every single one of those status effects are gone. Horror, gone. Blight and Bleed, gone. That's like 16 damage they're no longer taking. And you cured the stun, so they actually get to move this turn? That's pretty borked. Now, the only thing I am kind of upset about is that Divine Grace has a one turn cooldown. So you use it, can't use it the next turn, but you can use it the turn after. Same with Divine Comfort. So even though it is healing for significantly more, it's also healing for less, because it's less uptime. Which I actually think is why Tome of Cleansing would be really, really good. Not to mention, Divine Comfort would be able to potentially cure 3 stuns at a time. Which is still pretty freaking incredible. But that aside, I'm thinking what we should do. We definitely want to go level some people up. I think that much is obvious. As for who we're gonna bring, I'm thinking Baristan. He could be really, really handy, especially with Bolster. Bolster making us take less crits, less stress, more dodge. Overall, mwah, I love it. I want a mix of an Amber Blight and an Expiate team. Even if it's just the Occultist, for example, who's able to use the Amber Curse, I still think that would be really, really useful. Now, his Amber Blight is overall better because it makes him do less damage and take more damage. Whereas her Amber Blight just clears a corpse. So I definitely think we would want to take the Occultist, even though he's pagan, which could be bad. I think overall he is going to be really, really important. So, here's a team that I'm kind of thinking of. Oh, and then for the other 2 slots, I'm kind of thinking... Ideally, I would like the Flagellant in the first position. And then I would like the Vestal in the second position. Would that work? The Vestal could also go in the backline position so that she's able to expiate people. And then the Crusader could go in the second position. He'd be able to do a little bit of extra damage. Okay, this got complicated fast. Overall, I want to be able to expiate and Amber Blight them. Man-at-Arms seems like he's just going to be great. Occultist also seems like he's going to be really good. We could also put him here and give him the Sacrificial Stab. And then put the Vestal in the third position. She'll be able to expiate stuff. And then possibly the Crusader in the first position, or the Flagellant. I think that'll be a better team. I'm actually leaning more towards this, where it goes Man-at-Arms, Vestal, Occultist, and then either Flagellant or Crusader. I think we're going to do that. But, can't do that before we get some leveling done. So, okay, so I tested it just now. They can be Amber Blighted and Expiated at the same time. Whew! So, that means my whole idea of a party composition that I have is actually gonna be usable. It's not just like, I'm gonna show up and then it's like, nope, can only do one of them. You can actually do both. Also, stress is a little out of hand already. Don't know if you noticed. I could eat off this blade. Its luster is so pure. Well. I think she goes down to the Expiate. So let's try and get this one down. Works for me. Alright, big damage. Bleed. Yes. 7/3. Let's attempt to start stress healing, even though it's probably not going to work. Still might be worth trying. Ooh, double debuff, really good. Perfect Blaze. Oh, press. That's early. She might blow. That's probably the first time this mod has ever crashed. And I have a feeling it's because she was both Amber Blighted and Expiated. I don't know for sure, but that's kind of my guess. Because that's the first time it's ever crashed. And it happened to also be the first time I've ever had Amber Blight and an Expiation on somebody. So, maybe that's a little bit of a bug. I'm not sure. So if it crashes again, we know. Okay, it didn't crash this time. Not yet, at least. So strange. I'm not fully sure what happened, but it was mid-animation and then just kind of kaput. Well, hopefully that's not a reoccurring thing. Otherwise, we probably shouldn't take an Expiate and an Amber Blight team. Okay, she's stunned, so there's no explosion just yet. We're gonna throw a heal here. That's pretty good. Stack that bleed. I do think some of the bleed numbers might be just a little bit too high. Because I've sort of noticed, as I've just been playing through, experimenting with teams, bleed teams seem to have the absolute highest success rate right now. Now, that might change, and obviously it doesn't work against the Karvatst, but we're going to interact with that. I'm just going to this room first. But overall, I think bleed teams are extremely strong. Which I don't mind, just there's sometimes where it almost feels too strong, you know what I mean? We're going to debuff here just to try and reduce that damage. Quiver drop. That is a group arrow. Okay. Double stun. We got a debuff and then no debuff or stun, so that stinks. So reduced accuracy, less damage. Yeah. Okay, they have more dodge. It's a second guard. That guard sucks, because we don't want her to stay standing. But, unfortunately, not a lot we can do about it. Blinding powder, meh. Okay. Here we go. Ow. It hit everybody. Didn't do as much damage as it normally would, considering it's doing about minus 30%. So, overall, it could have been worse. Let's debuff here. You shall be the next target. Alright, 7/5 bleed with a crit. We are going to expiate here. Next round we will, at least. Drain Slash, that's pretty good amount of damage. 45% protection, pretty much did the exact same amount of damage. I'm questioning what good protection is right about now. But we're going to go ahead and try and debuff all of them. We do land it on absolutely everyone. We're going to throw a heal here. At least it didn't bleed. Ooh, healed herself. And then stack. Bleed. Didn't bleed, but he is down in 2 turns. So at the very least, there is that. Invigorating Fumes, that's more dodge. Luckily, it's not the heal just yet. We're going to expiate here. And then we're going to try and stun him next turn. Ow! 17 damage. Quiver draw, that is the arrow that pulls. Okay, luckily he does miss. Takes a little bit of damage. In 2 turns, he will heal us. We're going to throw another heal here. It's a 12. That's pretty good. No bleed. Go for the double stun. At least we prevent the pull. Shining star streaking through the ether. Well, and stress seal's nice. Let's put our post on the occultist. Okay, blinding powder. That's going to be more stress. Although we do dodge it. Train slash. 5 damage. Now the protection's coming into play. There we go. He's down. Now the Appraiser is in a spot where we can actually take her down. So we're going to attempt to do that as quickly as possible. A 20 crit stun. She's not going to be able to do anything. I'm going to try and pull him forward so that he's not able to use that arrow just yet. Okay, and then we're going to set up our post right here. Hopefully that is going to be enough, because he's absolute... Yeah, cursory retreat. 10 damage. Almost enough. It was really, really close. Train slash, that might be enough. No, that'd be close. He has way too much protection. Unfortunate, but we do get a heal out of it, so all in all, not too bad. Cursory retreat, he's down. Yeah, she's down, I guess. Stygian Shroud. That sounds like a... Yeah, stealth. Okay, we can't see her. So, throw a heal here. 5 heal, don't bleed. Thank you. Let's just try and heal him up, little by little. And then... Let's stun here. Before he stacks any more protection. Sweet. And then... Get a riposte here. So no matter who's attacked, we're going to be able to riposte. Although I doubt we're able to riposte the the fumes, so that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, good. Another enemy who can revive things. And she's stealthed and guarded, so we can't even deal with her. Invigorating fumes, that's dodge. I'm gonna expiate him, because it does additional damage against undead. Keep trying to debuff. She keeps dodging everything. Undead swipe. Okay, miss. 12 damage. Yeah, it does double damage against them. Just take him out. Okay. You, come here. Okay, so she can revive things. That's good to know. So, we've encountered 2 enemies, one being Karvatst, one being her, that can revive people. But it seems like she only revives people if you leave her for absolutely last. So all in all, I think that's fine. I don't think that's too challenging to deal with. That pretty much just puts a very, very huge target on her. Okay, so I just had my second ever crash. And that leads me to believe that there is something going on with the interaction between Amber Blight and Expiating. Once again, it was this move that caused the game to crash. And, once again, both Amber Blight and Expiate were on him. Yes, this has taken 10 turns. It's been a rough fight, okay? So I'm not sure what interaction is going wrong here, but something is absolutely not interacting properly with the Firewalker. And maybe it's not the Firewalker, but the only 2 times I've ever seen this happen are both on the Firewalker and both with pressure malfunction. So that kind of leads me to believe if it was anything, it has something to do with the Firewalker and something between the interaction of these 2 debuffs. Now that being said, we're absolutely not going to kill her in time. So yeah, we're just kind of out of luck. So let's just heal as much as we can before we get blown up. Let's set up a riposte. So we got 2 ripostes. Maybe that'll be enough to chunk through 72 health. Yeah, it looks like that was enough. After all, we did... She is dead, so clearly it was enough. Father, Father, I hear you.
Cannot say I will miss you,
Loaf. So... maybe this team idea of mine isn't the best. As I've been experimenting with it, and I know this team isn't the best regardless, but as I've been sort of experimenting, the Expiate just seems like it takes too long to pull off. Like, it's overall, it's good, but it just takes too long. In a boss scenario, that might be fine, but in a dungeon scenario like this, it is way too slow. So, I feel like expiating is only really going to be at its maximum effectiveness when it's against a boss. Otherwise, I don't feel like it's just doing enough. Oh, yeah, that, okay. Yeah, that, those are some pretty good finds. We're just gonna eat some food. Okay. But you know what? I'm kind of glad that I found the bug. That I found the bug now. Before, you know, for example, finding it mid-boss fight, where it would be at its absolute most dangerous point to find it. We're gonna give him a shovel. We're not... well, would he take a key? Yeah, he took a key. Okay, truth be told, I feel like we're gonna bail. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish the rest without getting stressed out, so I'm actually gonna bail. And that's fine. At the very least, something came out of this. We got a lot of gold, we discovered a bug, and a crash, and, yeah. What'd we get regardless? We got 14.2k gold, 6 matach, and 6 ambers. Nobody got any XP. And fast learner on Myra, that's spicy. So, any more Vestals? No? Okay, that's fine. So what I'm thinking is, oh, we have to go get that. We literally have to go get this. It's gonna be so good for the Vestal. Oh, we have to go get that. Alright. Alright, to be expected, it's going well. We might have a death. But we are gonna find out, aren't we? Let's see if my luck is, running dry or not. Ow. Okay. I was pretty sure the first mission we take our Vestal out into, she was gonna die. Luckily, she's not dead. At least not quite yet. Does that put him into his heal range? Because if it does, that's actually good. She's on low health anyway, so I'm just gonna buff her up and try and one-shot this Levantine. The chances of that are low. Alright, Divine Grace with a 20 heal. That's half of her health instantly. Okay, yeah, 40 crit riposte. Pretty good. Well, we're not stunning him. I can guarantee you of that. I'm wondering if we should even hit him, but I'm gonna go for it. Okay, we do end up dodging. Kill him. Okay, she's buffed too now. She's enraged or whatever. Yeah. Just gave her. He's alright. For now. Okay, riposte is gone, which means Exsanguinate is up.
The way guides my blows.
Alright, he's down. Vestal, group heal. Alright, minimum roll, but you know what? It helps. Man. I realize she's underleveled, but jeez. Go easy on the Vestal. We still have so much left in the dungeon to do. Well, there goes our Vestal. Death crit for 63 damage, and then we had a stress check.
Yep. 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 Yep.
I like it. I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad even a little bit. Not even slightly upset. Not even a tiny bit. Let's go. I'm so mad that, or I'm so not mad that we're just gonna bail. Okay, so, there goes our really crappy Vestal. It was still a Vestal, though. So, what are we gonna do now? Level some people? Everybody's stressed out, so I guess we're not leveling the really good people. Here, why don't you go beat yourself? Oh, never mind. The Flagellant needs to do that. Well, you know what? We'll just cancel treatment. We'll just send him in there for, like, double the price anyway. You go in here. You come in here. Okay. See, everyone's good. No one's upset. I'm not upset. Are you upset? I'm not. You'd be insane to think I'm upset. I have no reason to be upset. It's not like... Let's just go level. Okay, so bleed build, not good against Carbots. Go figure, it's not good against dudes that can't bleed. But trying to get it handled. Having 2 Gagals in a single team is a little bit brutal. Just a little bit. I really hope he can't just make another one. Okay, no, it seems like he only really makes the Katuths. Although I have seen him make some Makrubs as well, so not exactly sure what he can do. But, yeah. I still think these guys are way too overtuned. The Gagals. I think they're pretty ridiculous. Like 55% protection. Now this one is a level 3 dungeon, so at the very least I can understand a bit more why he's, you know, kind of tough. But I don't think this guy should ever spawn in a level 1 dungeon. I think that is way, 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 way too much. Because a level 1 team is not going to be able to handle this guy. Like, maybe they will, but that's got to be a really strong low-level team. We're going to try and shuffle her back, try and keep her alive. We really do not have anything to deal with the Gagal, so we're just trying to do as much damage as we possibly can. It's not exactly going well, but we are definitely trying. It doesn't help that he has so much dodge, even though it's really not a lot of dodge. Our accuracy is just pathetically low. Okay, cranial crash. We're gonna lose this fight because we just can't freaking kill this guy. Alright, let's go for a heal on the flagellant. Okay. Necrotic hack. They're just slowly whittling down at us, and we cannot go for them until we've dealt with the Gagal. Because the Gagal, but does he have something that reduces his accuracy? No, his accuracy is just that terrible. Until you deal with the Gagal, you cannot go for the rest of the team. Because if you do, you're literally just wasting time and effort. Because he's just going to revive it into something. Okay, cranial crash. He's just doing more damage to us, doing more stress. Let's try and get him. We are very, very, very slowly whittling down. We're going to put a regen here. Hopefully that'll be enough. Necrotic hack. That's going to do 21 damage. Pretty good. He is on 2 health. He's almost down. And there goes our Houndmaster, who couldn't hit the broadside of a freaking frigate, let alone this guy. Might be losing our Antiquarian too. This might be our first wipe that we have. We're gonna see. Let's shuffle back. Take him out. Thank you. He's finally down. Just have 2 more to go. Now hopefully we can just get through the rest of this fight without losing anybody else. Now something really bad is we literally cannot afford to abandon this dungeon because we are running ridiculously low on money. Like we're at, I want to say below 20k. Stress out, just give ourselves as much income as we possibly can because chances are we're probably going to be abandoning this dungeon after this, so may as well try and get whatever you can get. Sure wish I had a Blight team right about now because this team is expectedly really terrible against Carbots. Okay, we're gonna go for Exsanguinate just for the damage. It's almost down. We're gonna put a regen on ourselves, and then we're gonna loot the corpse over there. Okay, cranial crash. He's not gonna go crazy yet, but he's getting pretty close. Do a little bit of damage. This might kill. Okay, it didn't kill. That means we get another item. So. Nah, we're just gonna kill him. I wanted to go for a little bit more greed, but why chance it? Okay, so replace this, replace that. This can replace that. This can replace this. And that can replace this one, because we don't need that many. And, yeah, that's gonna do it for this dungeon. I'm not sure what to do, gonna be honest. We're just not succeeding in these level 3 dungeons. I don't know why. It feels like I'm going in it with at least decent parties, but man, we're just out on a dry streak and a half. This episode is going so poorly. We've gotten 2 deaths. We made it 18 weeks before anybody died. Violet died to a crit that put her onto death's door, immediately heart attack. And then Shag and Scoob, literally, we just got whittled down. So, I guess we're going to do some stress healing again. So we'll put them there. And then I'm gonna come put her, I guess she'll gamble. Not sure what to do. Okay, I went ahead and took a little break, because, I don't know if you noticed, I was a little bit upset, like, 3 seconds ago. But I wanted to mention that positive quirks, you cannot lock them in, but you also cannot lose positive quirks. The only way to gain additional positive quirks is by spending some gold to get rid of some of your quirks, which means all these positive quirks are permanent. Steady, permanent. Regenerator, permanent. Fast learner, all permanent. So, the amount of potential in a character is so extremely high, because you can have like natural eye, steady, regenerator, cheerful, and they could just be like the most all-around character ever. They could have stress heal for days. It could be like Myra here, minus 20% stress if below 50%, minus 10% stress, minus 20% stress if Torch is below 50, and then, you know, cheerful where she's stress healing every so often. Like, the lack of stress she would be taking is just insane, because you can just have positive quirks at all times. Now, obviously, that does... you do have to pay gold to remove some of your quirks, and then you're just kind of seeing what you get. But even still, I think that is a really, really cool addition. But this episode was a little bit of a bust. We did see our first 2 deaths in this episode, so be sure and leave an F in the comments down below, because you know what? We made it 18 weeks in this estate before anybody died. And we made it through 1 out of 2 of the bosses. So all in all, I'd say that's not too bad. But I believe that's going to do it for this episode. All in all, it didn't go great. We did lose quite a bit of gold, but at the same time, we did get a decent amount of levels. It's not like we got absolutely nothing for this episode, but I am fairly upset we lost our Vestal. And I think the team I want to bring for the Enchantress, it's going to be a little bit of a strange team, but I want it to be the Leper, and then imagine a Vestal's here in the 2nd position. And then the Occultist, and then the Man-at-Arms. Let's see, the Occultist, Man-at-Arms. So, Vestal is going to be using her attack that buffs the entire party pretty much on cooldown, and then she'll also have her group heal. So she'll be able to do a little bit of healing, get people off of death's door. She's going to be buffing everybody up. The Leper is probably going to Revenge Withstand, and then we could always just have Chop, which is just going to do a ton of damage. Now, it does do more against Expiated, but if the bug is still around where Expiated isn't working... Well, if Expiated isn't working properly with Amber Blight, then we probably won't do that. But, all in all, I think this could be a really fun team. And we could always swap off the Occultist with a actually good Vestal. She wouldn't be able to do her buff every turn, We would have to think about it just a little bit, but I'm really liking the idea of Leper, Vestal, something, and then Man-at-Arms. And probably a backup healer. Maybe a Plague Doctor? I don't know. There's a lot of things that we could do, but all in all, that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's like the basics of what I want to do. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed my suffering for this episode. We had to have a rage episode at some point, I suppose. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.